In the world's history, ancient Egypt occupies a special place. Therefore, excavations are constantly carried out on the territory of this most ancient, and for its time, one of the most advanced states. As a result, archaeologists learn even more about events of the ancient world and about people's way of life. With you is TopFacts BLACK, and these are astonishing discoveries in the Egyptian deserts that are hard to believe. I wish you a pleasant viewing, and of course, let us begin. Let us start with the mystical story of the disappearance of Queen Nefertiti's baboon. In the year 1336 before the Common Era, almost 3,500 years ago, the powerful Egyptian queen was the owner of a mysterious baboon. It is believed that this primate was a kind of symbol of her power. However, one day the baboon vanished without a trace, leaving researchers perplexed. For many centuries, the disappearance remained a mystery, but recently discovered footage captured on camera has provided an answer to this ancient question. The second story tells of an unusual female pharaoh who wore a false beard. Hatshepsut, who ruled Egypt from approximately 1479 to 1458 years before the Common Era, strove for equality between men and women in power. She boldly wore an artificial beard, symbolizing masculine authority. Restored footage found by archaeologists recorded unique scenes of the ancient ruler wearing the false beard. The next fragment touches upon the theme of the lost land of Punt, which was considered a mythical place by the ancient Egyptians. For a long time, scholars tried to find traces of this legendary land, but their successes were doubtful. However, recently discovered video recordings, dated to the period of ancient Egypt's prosperity, testify to the existence of the land of Punt and its ties with Egypt. In the video, one can see festive ceremonies, the exchange of diplomatic gifts, and trade between representatives of the two civilizations. This discovery has become a true breakthrough in the study of ancient world history. We continue our episode with incredible discoveries from a later period of Egypt. In the year 1848 of the Common Era, archaeologists discovered an Egyptian mummy wrapped in an unusual foreign book. In the footage recorded at the place of discovery, it is visible how researchers carefully unfold the book, which had become a kind of scroll for the mummy. It turned out that the book was written in ancient Greek and dated to the 4th century before the Common Era. At the moment, scientists continue to study this unique work and its connection to the Egyptian mummy. The next item of our video reveals the secrets of the ruined pyramid of Gedeferayin, located near the pyramids of Giza. Discovered footage, filmed at the excavation site, shows in detail the destruction of this architectural marvel, as well as the supposed reasons for its demise. What do you think caused this catastrophe? This case calls into question our understanding of the durability of ancient pyramids and makes us ponder the mysteries they conceal. Another fragment of our video tells about a unique discovery from the year 2013 of the Common Era, ancient Egyptian clocks used to determine the time of day. In the video footage, one can see researchers carefully examining this astonishing object, which may change our understanding of how the ancient Egyptians measured time and organized their lives. Western archaeologists had long assumed that in ancient Egypt there existed only a division of daytime and nighttime into 12 equal hours each, meaning the day was divided into 24 hours of varying lengths, and that dividing the day into 24 hours of equal length appeared only with the ancient Greeks. Archaeologist, historian, and former Minister of Antiquities of Egypt, Zahi Hawass, proudly announced on his social media about the stunning discoveries made during recent excavations at the mysterious tomb of Gezer el-Mudir in the dense surroundings of the Saqqara settlement, located near the majestic Cairo. The researchers, like brave treasure hunters, discovered an ancient cemetery, a mysterious tomb of a priest, and a sarcophagus with an ancient mummy covered in gold leaf, which seemed to glow through millennia. The sarcophagus, belonging to a mysterious man named Hatshepsut, was found at the bottom of a 15-meter deep funerary shaft. The limestone sarcophagus remained intact, as if it had been buried only yesterday, after being dropped into the shaft by ancient Egyptians approximately 4,300 years ago. Members of the research expedition, stunned by this discovery, suggest that this may be the oldest and undoubtedly best preserved mummy found in Egypt to date. The Dendera light is shrouded in a mystical haze, since it is not simply an artifact of possible ancient technology, but also a potential depiction of such an artifact, mysteriously inscribed on the wall of one of the best-preserved ancient temples in Egypt, the Temple of the mysterious goddess Hathor in Dendera. The controversial reliefs, like enigmatic illustrations, depict the Dendera light, intertwined with ancient Egyptian legends of creation, mysterious ceremonies, the powerful gods of their pantheon, and ideas of rebirth. The inscriptions surrounding the reliefs clearly demonstrate that this is not evidence of ancient Egyptian technology. Archaeologists, having examined thousands of ancient monuments throughout Egypt, have found no convincing electrical artifacts, let alone light bulbs. As of now, there is no concrete evidence that the ancient Egyptians used electric lighting. One of the 7 wonders of the world, the Pyramid of Khufu in Giza, with its majestic age of 4,500 years, continues to captivate and amaze not only the general public, but also the most sophisticated experts. The entire pyramid complex, where the Great Pyramid rises as if crowning all the knowledge and secrets of the ancient world, is one of the most mysterious and studied archaeological artifacts. As if guarding within itself numerous secrets and legends, the pyramid becomes the subject of research by scientists from all corners of the earth who try to penetrate its mysteries and unravel them using the most modern technologies. Egyptologist Ladislav Berry says, "The interior of the pyramid hides a huge space. The original entrance led into the bedrock where the oldest burial chamber was built, but then it was forgotten, and other passages began to lead only upward. At the very heart of this grand structure lie the royal burial chamber and the Great Gallery, the most extensive chamber that can be found in any Egyptian pyramid. Thus, the mysteries of the Great Pyramid continue to stir the imagination and inspire genuine admiration, revealing new facets of the history and magic of ancient Egypt." The Great Library of Alexandria existed for almost 1,000 years. Throughout its entire history, it accumulated more than 700,000 folios. Some of them contain the most ancient secret knowledge of vanished civilizations. For several centuries, the library was subject to constant looting. Manuscripts were stolen and destroyed. The library consisted of dozens of halls and rooms. Researchers still argue about the exact date of its founding. Most lean toward the idea that in the 50s of the 4th century before the Common Era, its creation was initiated by the King of Egypt, Ptolemy I. In any case, the library flourished until the beginning of the Common Era. The keepers of the manuscripts enjoyed high privileges, and the chief librarian was always appointed as the tutor of the royal heir. On the banks of the mighty and mysterious Nile River, scientists discovered a long-forgotten mummification workshop where the ancient Egyptians paid their final respects to those who departed into the afterlife. Across centuries and the sands of time, this workshop keeps secrets and mysteries of the art of mummification, which was truly sacred and unique to the ancient Egyptians. Here, numerous artifacts were found that prove the grandeur and craftsmanship of ancient rituals. A question to all viewers: what do you think happened to the masters of this workshop? And why was it forgotten for so many centuries? Spanish archaeologists excavated 2 tombs in Upper Egypt, in El Banasa, containing the remains of a man and a woman from 2,500 years ago, who were buried with golden tongues, plates of gold foil. This is not the first finding of this kind, since it was believed that a golden tongue should help those going into the realm of the dead convince Osiris to show mercy to their souls. Golden plates replacing tongues are not very common among ancient Egyptian mummies. They were inserted during burial so that the spirit of the deceased could speak to Osiris upon entering the other world. The man's skull still appears completely intact. In the gloomy and mystery-filled corridors of the tomb of the famous pharaoh Tutankhamun, scientists made a stunning discovery. They found mummified infants, carefully concealed and preserved. They represent a key to unlocking the secret of the royal dynasty, the life and death of the famous pharaoh. The great Tutankhamun, though he ruled for only a short time, left behind a legacy and mysteries that continue to intrigue scholars and researchers for centuries. What was the fate of these innocent children? And what is their connection to the pharaoh himself? These questions lead us to contemplate the mystical and complex history of ancient Egypt, its rulers, and their relatives. It is said that an ancient tunnel, hidden deep beneath the ground of Egypt, holds the secret of the tomb of the great Queen Cleopatra. Discovered in the shadow of the temple of Taposiris Magna, west of Alexandria, this secret passage reveals itself to the Egyptian Dominican Archaeological Mission from the University of Santo Domingo. The tunnel hides its secret at a depth of about 13 meters, stretches about 2 meters in height, and runs for approximately 1,300 meters. According to the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, initial research indicates a similarity in construction to the Greek Jubilenos Tunnel. This discovery has prompted scientists to wonder whether this mysterious corridor leads to Cleopatra's tomb itself, which still remains to be found. The huge underground tunnel, with its mystical allure, stirs the imagination and sparks interest in its true purpose, which so far remains a mystery. In the year 2018 of the Common Era, in the depths of forgotten dungeons in the city of Alexandria, archaeologists stumbled upon a mysterious black granite sarcophagus. At a depth of about 5 meters, there emerged its unusual form, cloaked in darkness and secrets. The mass of the giant sarcophagus and its lid, carefully fitted, seemed like the guardians of ancient secrets, sealed within a mysterious substance. When news of the discovery spread online, grim rumors and wild theories about what lay inside seized people's minds. The city's inhabitants feared plagues, viruses, and even ancient curses. Finally, when the sarcophagus lid was raised, a sinister and repulsive odor filled the air, causing the archaeologists to halt their work. For an hour, the sarcophagus remained open, allowing the terrible smell to dissipate. Upon closer examination, researchers found that the sarcophagus was half filled with a reddish-brown liquid. Carefully removing this mysterious substance, archaeologists discovered bones at the bottom of the sarcophagus. However, scientists have yet to determine the nature of this strange fluid, how it got there, and for what purpose it might have been needed. Thus, this ancient sarcophagus remains an enigma, keeping its secrets deep in Egypt's sands. For the first time in history, scientists have discovered the mummy of a pregnant woman, who was about 20 years old at the time of her death. This astonishing fact was revealed thanks to advanced research technologies, such as computed tomography. The mummy dates to about 2,000 years ago and was found in the area of the Red Pyramids Archaeological Complex. Scientists now have the task of investigating the cause of death and examining in more detail the mummification rituals of that time. Archaeologists excavated the long-forgotten city of Aten, buried under the sands of Egypt many centuries ago. Captured on camera are unique images of ruined buildings, columns, and shrines that tell the story of an ancient people and their gods. The city of Aten was built during the New Kingdom period and served as an important administrative and cultic center. Excavations continue, and scholars hope to uncover more detailed information about the life and culture of its inhabitants. A group of scientists from Egypt and the United States discovered the oldest brewery in the world, possibly the very oldest known brewery, at one of the most famous archaeological sites of ancient Egypt. The brewery was apparently built in that area for conducting royal rituals with beer, given that archaeologists found evidence of the use of beer in ancient Egyptian sacrificial rites. British archaeologists first mentioned the existence of the brewery in the 1900th years, but they could not determine its location. This place is considered one of the oldest in the world and may be the cradle of the art of brewing beer. The Temple of the Sun. This is a new, thrilling discovery by archaeologists who found the remains of what they believe to be one of 6 temples ever built by the pharaohs of the 5th dynasty. The discovery, made at Abu Ghurab south of Cairo and north of the Abusir archaeological site, is hailed as one of the most important in recent decades. More than 50 years have passed since the second Egyptian Sun Temple was discovered, and this latest find is generating great excitement. Archaeologists believe they have quite strong evidence that they have uncovered a third Sun Temple. Strangely enough, the ruins of the third Sun Temple lie beneath the remains of the later Sun Temple of Nusera, built by Nusera-ini, the 6th ruler of the 5th dynasty during the Old Kingdom. The Falcon Temple, as named by the group of archaeologists from the Autonomous University of Barcelona, was discovered during fieldwork in the year 2019 of the Common Era. The cult building consists of 2 small rectangular rooms with doorways aligned along the central axis, and it features Egyptian decorative elements. In neighboring ancient buildings, artifacts related to the culture and beliefs of the enigmatic Blemmyes were found, The Falcon Temple shows that they could respect Egyptian tradition and developed cult practices in which falcons were sacrificed to the Egyptian god Khonsu in a manner not witnessed in Egypt before. However, this method is similar to the cults of the Nile Valley temples. Several years ago, in a tomb located in Saqqara, 30 kilometers from Cairo, scientists discovered a product they could not immediately identify. It took 4 years to analyze the find. The research was recently completed, and its results were somewhat unexpected. Without doubt, it was cheese, but its consumption carried life-threatening risks even 3,200 years ago. The initial analysis of the substance showed a high content of various sugars and proteins. The substances and amino acid chains, though partially destroyed over time, nonetheless fully entitle scientists to refer to the discovery as one of the oldest cheeses found today. Archaeologists managed to find the Temple of Zeus after noticing 2 huge granite columns that served as the temple's entrance. The columns collapsed as a result of a powerful ancient earthquake. Continuing the excavations, the archaeologists came upon a set of granite blocks, probably used as steps in front of the temple. Excavations in Pelusium, where modern scholars were able to locate the Temple of Zeus, began back in the 1900th years. At that time, the French Egyptologist Jean Cléda found ancient Greek inscriptions indicating the existence of the Temple of Zeus, but for a long time, the structure could not be found. Now before you stands a 2-meter-tall monumental figure that sits on a throne, proudly straightening its back and placing its hands on its knees. It is called the statue of the goddess Sekhmet. Although her face is damaged, the goddess makes a strong impression, and it seems she possesses supernatural powers. No wonder museum staff tell incredible stories about Sekhmet's statue. Occasionally, during a full moon, a red puddle appears on the goddess's granite lap, and by morning it dries up, leaving only a barely noticeable residue. From a scientific point of view, this phenomenon is hard to explain, but from a mystical perspective. In November of the year 1922 of the Common Era, a group of archaeologists discovered a previously unknown tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. They entered it through sealed doors and overcame debris left by robbers. They moved deeper and deeper, passing through narrow corridors until they finally reached the burial chamber. There they found a huge gilded shrine, more than 5 meters tall. Inside this shrine were several other shrines nested one within another, and in the innermost one lay a quartzite sarcophagus. Inside the sarcophagus was the golden coffin of Tutankhamun, and his mummy was adorned with a forged gold mask. It was the most beautiful portrait of the pharaoh, with expressive eyes made of dark blue glass and obsidian, as well as a broad necklace decorated with colored stones. In ancient times, drawings, letters, and seals were created on papyrus, as it was easier to preserve and transmit information. On your screens is the Tuli papyrus, which can tell people about unknown phenomena related to unidentified flying objects. According to legend, this papyrus was written during the reign of Pharaoh Thutmose III, around 1,480 years before the Common Era. The text describes a strange incident that occurred in the past. Ufologists have found hints within it indicating that it might have been related to unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrials. According to this document, in the 22nd year, a huge fiery orb appeared in the sky, about 46 meters long, moving silently. It flew past the palace, leaving behind a mysterious trace in history. A married couple from the United States decided to take a short trip, during which they would visit a desert in Arizona. They were certain that the sandy landscape and a few wild cacti would create the perfect backdrop for a photograph in their family album. However, just as they were preparing to take pictures, their attention was drawn to a strange formation on the sand. This spot was purple in color and shimmered in the sunlight. Later, it turned out that this formation consisted of many small, jelly-like spheres, dyed purple. To the touch, they were sticky, and when pressed, they made a crunchy sound. But neither on-site nor after thorough analysis was it possible to understand what this was. Could it have been something related to extraterrestrial life? So, these were some of the most astonishing discoveries made in Egypt. If you enjoyed the episode and want to see something similar, write comments, give likes, subscribe to the Top Facts channel, and right now watch one of the previous episodes that have appeared on your screen.